Well, first up, in an effort to regulate environmental damage, France will soon introduce an eco-tax on airlines flying out of the country. This was introduced and announced by the French Transport Minister Elisabeth Borne today. Now, the French government plans to impose a tax of up to 18 euros on each ticket for an outgoing flight from France. However, no tax will be charged on transit flights. With this tax, the French government hopes to fund ecological transportation projects within the European Union. The green tax is expected to raise around 180 million euros from 2020.
L'éco-contribution sera de 1,50 € en classe éco intra-Union européenne, de 9 € en intra-Union européenne pour la classe affaires, de 3 € en hors Union européenne en classe éco et de 18 € en hors Union européenne en classe affaires.
The measure has been widely welcomed owing to its contribution in safeguarding the environment. But what is an eco-tax after all? An eco-tax is a form of tax levied on activities considered to be harmful to the environment, also known as green tax. It is intended to promote environmental friendly activities via economic incentives. Now, according to reports, the airline sector has been long under pressure from climate change activists who point out to the industry's large carbon footprint. However, in an effort to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, France is also pushing for the new European Union Commission chairman to put an end to global tax exemptions for jet fuel. And Mandy Clark, our London bureau chief, is now joining us for the latest on this. And Mandy, well, the French President Emmanuel Macron's government wants to tighten environmental regulations, but, had to abandon an attempt to increase tax on diesel fuel late last year following the Yellow Vest protests movement. How do you think this is going to pan out, given the fact that airlines stocks are already down on this announcement?
Yes, so you're right. He does have a radical view of taking really active measures to curb carbon emissions. There was almost a battle between the UK and France on who would be the first to announce that it's a climate emergency. It's clearly an issue that the Macron government takes seriously. Of course, with the Yellow Vest protests, it was felt like those diesel taxes unduly hit like lorry drivers, those are truck drivers, those people working in those services. When it comes to airlines, there's likely to be less of a backlash because lots of people who are taking those flights, they wouldn't be using it necessarily for their jobs, and if their jobs, it's likely more well-paying. So it's not hitting that kind of working class as those diesel suggested taxes would have. It's been more welcome, but of course there's some people who've already said, look, they only take one holiday a year, and for a family of four, suddenly it's close to another extra 100 euros or so. So it is. Some people are commenting on it, but if you have the ability to take those flight holidays, it's going to have less of a backlash than certainly what we saw with the Yellow Vests and the diesel suggested tax.
Absolutely, Mandy.